Hello, everybody. Welcome to STOMPCAST. And today we are with Hetty Band. We're talking about our first gaming experiences. Hetty, what is your first gaming experience?
Okay, I think we've talked about this before in Discord, but do you remember, there's this one Lego game where you play as a pizza guy and you can throw pizzas. That was my first ever game that I ever played.
Yes, sir. I remember that game very well on PS2. I believe it was called Island Extreme Stunts. You played as a guy named what was his name?
Jeremy.
No, most certainly not. It was not Jeremy. What was his name? I'm just gonna refer to him as Pizza.
Pizza Hut Man.
Pizza Hut Man.
How can I take your order?
He is Pizza the Hut. Do you know of any specific details about this game that made you remember it so well?
I remember you could collect gold bricks and you could make a house or something. You could throw pizzas at people. I never passed a water level. There was a level where there was something with water and a castle, and I never passed that.
I remember exactly what level you're talking about. It's the time travel mission where you're where you're on the boat and you're trying to race through the rings, and it's you only have 15 to 20 seconds, and it was almost mentally impossible. It was so scary because you were constantly running out of time, and the soundtrack was scary. It was intense.
Yeah, give that to yeah, it's give that to I think I was 8 at the time, something like that. That how is an 8-year-old gonna do that?
Yeah. It's one of these experiences where you're like, oh my gosh, this is so intense. Your blood starts pumping, your anxiety level's getting higher, and you're just oh my god, what do I do?
I need to do this, or else I will be the pizza man that does not come back from the war. My family miss me every day.
Yeah. And so are there any other games you remember growing up with?
Okay, so I remember when I got I think it was Xbox 360. I was stuck with that for most of my life, and there was this Green Lantern game, the superhero Green Lantern. Is that DC or Marvel?
That's DC.
DC, okay. And you play as the Mr. Man. You're on a planet thing, and you could shoot a chain, something like that. I don't know, just Green Lantern. That's all I remember from it.
Was this the Green Lantern that was based on the really bad movie?
Maybe, probably. In fact,
if I'm not mistaken, I do remember that I have played that particular game, the Ryan Reynolds one, and I do remember the game being better than the movie, but that's not really saying much. The game was still kind of bad. It was just
all I remember is I was a
God of
wee boy.
War ripoff.
Yeah. Although I got an Xbox 360 because of Skylanders Giants. I think it's Giants. Yeah,
I remember Skylanders
Giants. Because I remember I had the tree giant, and I was I loved it.
Yeah. And then eventually they added Bowser, Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah, they added Donkey Kong, isn't it? Big gorilla boy, big ooga booga gorilla.
So I guess I should talk about mine now. So my first gaming experience was on PS1 back in, I think it was actually 2004-ish. And it was with a game called Toy Story 2 on PS1.
Oh.
And it was the greatest PS1 game I had ever played at the time. Because
I remember a DS version of it.
It was really weird because you were played as Buzz Lightyear through the entire game, and you could shoot lasers, and I think it was the first time that you could run around and you could actually blow up other toys. So I always thought of it
as the first battle royale.
It was the first battle royale. I always thought of it kind of toys genocide. I was like, that's literally all I would do. I would run around and just shoot people. And I was like, I always found it so much fun. Until I realized that there was actually a story to the game, and there was actually things to do. I was like, oh. So the game's
So you don't just run around killing people. Oh.
I'm like...
That would explain a lot.
Yeah, I'm just like, so... I'm not supposed to shoot these guys. I'm supposed to collect the coins. Okay.
And it's just, yeah. I remember like a DS, like you know the DS. I think it's like a Toy Story 3 game because I remember the Mr. Teddy Bear Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there were these like levels where it's almost hard to explain. Like, is it tower defense? I don't know those games. I'm a boomer, you see. Big boy boomer. And like you would like place down tanks and you would upgrade them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Something like that. Is that what tower defense is?
I believe so. Yeah. I don't.
So
really
it was kind of like that,
Tower
but Toy
Defense,
Story form.
I never really played a whole lot of tower defense. In terms of like the first game I like, the first game I ever actually like played through and actually beat on my own was on PS1 as well with Spider-Man on PS1. The single greatest PS1 game of all time to me.
I mean, have I ever played like a Spider-Man game? I don't think so.
Really, you've never played a Spider-Man game?
I've never played a Spider-Man game.
How interesting.
It upsets me because I always want to zip zap around, you know, be the epic Spider-Man.
Zippity zappity.
Zippity zappity.
So like, in terms of like the first game you ever actually like completed, what would that be?
Completed. I never completed Green Lantern. I never completed the pizza game. Probably Toy Story or maybe Minecraft. Well, you can't really complete Minecraft.
Minecraft doesn't really count because while yes there is an ending and there's a final boss and everything, the game really doesn't end there. It never really ends.
Like I remember my first experience with Minecraft. I was over my cousin's house, and because as I was a kid I was like, whoa, Minecraft looks so cool. And to me it wasn't like a block game. All I know is a game where you could tame a wolf, and you could walk around with the wolf, and that's all I knew of Minecraft. And apparently there was like these trees, so.
Oh yeah, the trees.
And then I got Minecraft for like Christmas, like the next Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember crying because I was stuck on the home screen.
Yeah, I remember.
I was very, yeah.
I remember when I first got Minecraft, I booted it up on my old computer at my old house, and it was one of the desktop, really like ancient box computers.
Oh no!
And I booted it up on it, and when I say that it was the laggiest game I had ever played, it was so laggy, and I was like, this game is not very graphically complex. I was like,
yeah, it's just blocks.
I was 8, and I was like, how is my computer lagging? And then like, I was like, oh wait, this computer is like from like 2001. Like,
a long time.
What was I expecting?
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, my PC right now is like pretty good. It is.
Yeah, mine as well. So, all right, let's okay. So, in terms of like, so. In Spider-Man, I know this is we kind of went off topic for a bit. It was the hardest thing that always like the hardest part of the game was the final boss, as we called him Monster Ock, and you know Doc Ock, right?
Oh yeah.
So in the final boss of that particular game it was like a what if. It was like what if Carnage, you know Carnage.
Yeah. The
had
Venom
attached itself to Doc Ock.
Oh, that's a cool concept. I like concepts like.
The scariest thing is the final boss was just running away from the guy. He was monstrous. He was. The scariest thing is the music was like really scary, and he kept. The man was screaming, "Run!" And then like he also said, "I'll rip you apart." and then if he
That's
caught
very
you,
PG.
if he caught you, he swung you past like off screen, and you just see him. You just see Spider-Man's legs and arms fly off the screen. You're just like, he's actually ripping Spider-Man apart. Holy crap! This is actually in a kid's game. What the heck? It was intense.
Is that the game where the meme come from, where like Spider-Man, like, because in those games, if you die, there's like some sort of ending where like a main character, like, is it the game where if Spider-Man dies in a certain level, the woman's like, I'm going to die now, and then like the tower explodes or something?
No, it's not that game.
PS? That's Spider-Man 2.
That's Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 3.
Oh, okay. Because that's the only thing I know from that particular game is I'm gonna die now.
I'm going to die. That's yeah.
But
that is a classic meme, my sir.
it is the meme.
So in terms of like a character in a game that scared you as a kid, what would you have? Other than like me, of course, I said it was Monster Hawk. So what about you?
Ooh, that one chicken in Minecraft always scared me. No, I don't know if I was really ever scared of No, wait. Toy Story. In the Toy Story, because you know how there's like enemies in some levels.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an enemy in like a certain level. Is it like not the teddy bear? I haven't seen the movie in a very, very long time. But it's like, the bit where like they go outside at night in like the kindergarten area, and you got like hide in the sand or something like that.
Oh.
In like the sandbox. So I remember a sandbox. They're like if you get caught in the light, you fail. They get you. So the whole point was just to stay out of the light, and I guess that kind of scared me because
the stealth
child.
missions.
Yeah.
Yeah, stealth missions always kind of. When I was younger, they always kind of gave me adrenaline, and they made me concerned, like I was in danger. That's why, like, back when I was younger, whenever I would walk in and my older brother was playing Metal Gear, I would always do my best to be quiet because I knew that if he failed, he would beat me.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I'm just joking. Well, he'd probably like get upset at me, but he wouldn't beat me. No, my brother wasn't mean.
He wasn't that kind of brother.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll tell you, like the first game I ever went out and bought for myself, with Christmas money or birthday money, I can't remember. There are one of two games it could have been. In fact, I actually remember exactly which one it was. It was Lego Indiana Jones, the first one on PS2.
Oh yeah, mine.
That game to death.
I remember Lego Jurassic Park. No, Lego Jurassic World, because at the time I lived in my, I think, old house, and I was still relatively, well, not young, but at an age where I still had my Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like loving that game to death, and I was like even to this day, well, not to this day, maybe like a month ago or like 2 months ago, I was like, oh, am I ever going to play that game again? And I recently just got it on Steam, but it's like I need a controller for it, and my mouse and keyboard are, it's very difficult to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you can count that as a bought thing.
Lego Jurassic World is good.
I think most Lego games is like like children's childhood and stuff.
Yeah, they're like really, they're really good and all.
Like very good quality. I mean, just for being Lego. And...
Yeah. So like in terms of, all right, so this is kind of a weird question. What is the most embarrassing gaming experience you've ever had?
Could this be like somewhat recent?
try to keep it a little ways away.
Yeah.
Just like, but like, don't make it like inappropriate, like an inappropriate.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be difficult then.
It's difficult for me too, but I can remember exactly which one I'm gonna say.
Probably. Okay, now this is somewhat recent. You know, is it George Floyd? Isn't that like the whole like Black Lives Matter thing?
Wait, what?
You know George Floyd? Isn't that the person that?
If you don't mind, let's try to not talk about political
and
stuff like that.
But basically, yeah. You can edit this part out, but yeah.
Okay. So all right, let's hang on. So okay, what is the first ever horror game you ever played?
Horror game. I don't play horror games, they scare me. Probably Five Nights at Freddy's, because Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, that was like back in 2014, it's 2021. It's kind of like, you know, far away, but I remember playing it at my cousin's house, and it terrified me.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I think my first ever horror game I ever played was I was playing games with my older brother, and he happened to be playing a game known as Fear. And this game was you were a soldier, and you had ended up in a testing facility, and there was like a ghost girl running around. But she wasn't like an actual ghost, as she was still technically alive, but she was like phasing in and out of reality. But it was like the scariest thing, because like you would be in a gunfight, and all of a sudden you just hear like little child footsteps behind you. Turn around, and there she is, like, standing behind you, and you have to run away.
That might be just a bit scary to a child, or
I screamed, ran out of the room, went into my bedroom, and cried into my pillow.
Also, this is kind of going back to Minecraft, but like, can you count Herobrine as a?
Yes.
Like back when Herobrine was a very big thing. Like I remember like trying to search for him.
I remember like literally believing that like I remember seeing all the like the summoning him videos and not realizing that they were using mods, and I tried it over and over again, not understanding what I was doing wrong.
Yes, it's like you put like Steve heads on a certain like a gold pillar with the redstone torches surrounding it or something like that.
I remember the one where not the Steve head, but you put a netherrack block on top of a bunch of gold bricks. Redstone torches at each intersection, and then light it on fire, and he's supposed to appear in the fire. And I tried
don't think I've seen that one.
so many times. This is like an old, like 2011 one. And I tried so many times to get it to work, and it never worked. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? And then eventually one day I found out they were using mods, and I was like, wow, I feel like an idiot.
To be fair, I bet you did. Like, I would probably just be like, oh.
I was so embarrassed. I was like, ugh. I've been trying for nearly a year and a half to summon this guy, and it turns out it's not even real. I'm like, ugh.
Also, there was... Okay, like, overall, do you think Herobrine was real? Kind of going off topic, but like... I believe
that at one point he was. I do believe that, like, Herobrine, like the story, like the original creepypasta of him, where the guy is running around in the forest and he sees him and he's slowly creeping up on it. I believe that is real, because it's just like it's too well written, and he still claims to this day that it was true. So I believe that at one point Herobrine was real, and it would leave credence and evidence to the whole thing where in every patch note since ever.
Yeah, it's always been removed Herobrine.
It always says at the bottom, it says removed Herobrine.
Yeah. I mean, except for that one update, and then everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, did they add him back?" And I'm like, "No, he's still gone."
They decided, it's been like
I do hope
10
and
years
pray
Minecraft.
that one day that Mojang sees the opportunity to actually add Herobrine.
But like, not like forever, obviously. Maybe it's
maybe like a Halloween update or something.
Yeah. Because they do that. They do Halloween updates and stuff.
Yeah. There was this one game I used to play back on PS or PS2. This is like kind of off topic and not really. It's still an old gaming experience. It was a game known as the Biker's Life, I believe. It was like a biking game. It was fun. It was more like kind of like one of these Tony Hawk. You're going up ramps, doing tricks, right? But I didn't play it for that. I didn't play it like I'm supposed to. Could you guess what I used it for?
Killing.
No, not quite. Well, kind of. You're almost right. I used it because anytime you crashed your bike, the man would scream so loud, and he would go ragdoll, and he would fly all over the place. It was the funniest thing.
Oh, that reminds me of Just Skate.
Yeah, we'll get there in just a second.
Yeah.
I remember. So there was one time where I was playing, and my older brother was watching me, and I was like, "Hey, look what this thing I just found!" And I ran out of rode my bike out of a window onto a street, and a car ran my guy over. And I was like, I was laughing, and my brother was just like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like laughing so hard because he didn't think it was all that funny. He's like, "You just lost all your progress." I was like, "I don't care. It's funny." It made me laugh, so I was happy.
Yeah. Yet again, because my cousin, because he's like a couple years older than me, and when I was a child, he had GTA and all those things, and he would let me play it, right? But Just Skate 3 was, definitely.
Yeah. I actually like all these people. Like, I keep being told like GTA is good and all. I really couldn't get into the series. I played a few of the games, but it really wasn't my cup of tea. It was a bit too. See, like I do
too much.
Not quite. The games get a lot more backlash than they deserve because they're really not that bad. There's like nudity and stuff, and there's bad language, but they're not like they do not support mass killings or all that because you actually get in trouble for doing those things in the games. Like you'll be fined in the game.
It's like the star ratings.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But I still couldn't get into the series. It was just really not my cup of tea. I think it was just because it kind of like I don't know. Now Red Dead Redemption, I could get into that. I love Red Dead Redemption. Yeehaw! That's what I say.
Also, another big game, I think you could probably relate to this too, is Goat Simulator.
Oh, yes.
At the time, the most funniest game, but when you look back at it, it's, in my opinion, I'm like,
I can't believe we found that funny.
The ragdoll physics were a bit, wacky, but not anymore. But at the time, it was a really good game. I'm surprised people still buy it to this day.
I still think that if we want to talk about a game that it was like one of my I used to crack me up with Surgeon Simulator.
Oh yes, just games like that. Yeah.
That game is still fun.
Yeah.
Especially because they're releasing a sequel to it.
Oh really?
And it's actually like you're able to walk around. And it's actually multiplayer. It looks actually like really good.
Ah. That's something, we
now,
could get.
Alright, so not many people know this about me, which is shocking. My favorite game of all time.
Let me guess, Godzilla game.
Is Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee.
I'm actually surprised we haven't heard a Godzilla game from you yet, and seeing that your name is.
Yeah, well, I was saving it off for my favorite game of all time. Yeah.
Yeah.
This game was the funnest fighting game of all time.
Was it the game you showed me the other day in Discord?
Mm-hmm.
The one.
That one.
Is it Beslan Slot was playing? Is that the name of the YouTuber?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, in this game, it was like. It was not like any other fighting game. It was not side-scroller. It wasn't like Mortal Kombat or anything like this. You had an open city you could roam around. And the point of the game was you could either fight each other in a versus mode, or play destruction mode, which was my favorite, and destroy as many buildings. And each building you destroy, you get points. Whoever destroys the most buildings wins. That was my favorite mode, because all you're doing is you just hear people screaming underneath you. And I'm just like, I am Godzilla. You bow before me, mortal.
I am the god of this dimension.
Yeah, it's like you're just like you feel empowered. And like, but then there's the versus mode where it is so much fun because you can pick each other up, throw them into buildings. You can literally in the game pick up buildings and throw them at people.
That does sound quite fun.
And then they made after that game, about 2 years later, they made Godzilla Save the Earth, which is pretty much the same game, more characters and a actually better story and semi better graphics. It wasn't. I liked it, but I didn't have as much nostalgia for it. However, like about 4 years after that, on the Wii, they released Godzilla Unleashed, which improved everything for the past games. The animation, the stories. They even had original monsters in there, like that they created themselves. I remember Crystalak and Obsidius.
Like, if a game ever has like original characters that like from the game, that's normally like really good.
Mm-hmm. And they were actually cool. Like Crystalak was a weird lizard bear thing with crystals growing out of him. And he could shoot crystals out of his mouth. He was interesting. Obsidius was even cooler because he was a monster made out of hardened. He was made of obsidian, like hardened lava rocks. And it was really cool. I mean, he could shoot lava out of his mouth, and he was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I gathered by the name that it would have something to do with obsidian.
But then, like another game that I also grew up with, that I only actually I still have. I got it for a birthday not too long ago again, but I used to have it when it first came out. Was Jurassic Park Operation Genesis?
Oh yes.
And I actually I got it for my birthday one year, but my parents rebought the original copy on PS2, and I freaked out because I was like, this is like a $300 game now. It's so expensive. In fact, I remember seeing it once for like almost $800 on PS2, and they bought it for me. I was like, oh my gosh, you found it. And I played it, and I was like, you know what? This game may not be as good as I remember, because the PC version's better, because it's actually moddable. But
I know mods.
It was so good. And then literally the year after that, they announced Jurassic World Evolution. I was like, a new one.
Like, what was your reaction to that game? Now,
Evolution?
Yeah.
I flipped my crap.
I mean, to be fair. Okay, Ashley, I want to know your opinion on something. Okay, because you know Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
What would you do if they had like this kaiju theme park? Like, I don't know, you could have like giant cages to house like giant creatures, and it was like a Godzilla kaiju thing. Like, what would you think?
So here's the thing. I'd be like, this is the stupidest thing, and I'd still buy it.
Oh yeah, obviously, like, like the concept of it sounds very
stupid.
Yeah, but it could be good. Like the main concept could be good.
I would own it just for to be like, I own this. I own this weird thing that has no point to exist.
It's kind of like the Emoji Movie. It's like, oh, how I watched that in theaters.
Bring up that.
Yeah.
Because I remember we're gonna do a movie talk eventually.
Yeah.
But I remember we watched that movie in school one day, and I was just like, this is the actual worst movie I've ever watched. I don't think I've ever seen a movie that actually made me cringe more than that.
B movie.
No, actually, I used to enjoy B movie, and I still kind of do. It's not.
I think it's not the whole thing with the B movie. It's just the concept of it, like not like the acting.
It's the concept. All right,
it's the concept that bees talk to humans, and this one girl falls in love with a bee.
Exactly, but we'll talk about that when we get to the movie talk. On later down the line.
I'm guessing you'll do that with like Seth or someone.
We'll probably do it with a few different people. I'll probably have you back. Try to get Seth in here. Maybe I'm not gonna say Jack, but maybe. Just depends. I don't want too many people. All right. So I'm gonna ask you one more question. What is your all-time favorite game?
Ever.
Probably
rather Undertale, Bendy and the Ink Machine, or FNAF Sister Location. Like those type of indie games like that.
Well, I was talking about just in general.
Like in general for nostalgia, I would probably go like I said, like the pizza game. I haven't played that game since my nan's original PC got taken away like so many years ago.
Okay. I would have figured you'd say the Isle, but...
Oh my god! The Isle slipped my mind. Oh my god, I was thinking more indie game. Yeah, of course the Isle, because... dinosaur game.
Yes, I love the Isle as well. It's got to be my favorite massively multiplayer game, yeah.
Yeah. And it has its flaws, but it's
a little buggy, and, the graphics are beautiful. They still update it. It has a great community for the most part.
That last bit I can.
I said for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wish to mention?
I mean, did you say what your? You said your favorite game of all time was the Godzilla game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there like a second favorite?
Second favorite. Ooh. Oh boy.
Godzilla the second.
Second favorite game is probably gonna be Jurassic Park Operation Genesis.
Yeah, I was thinking you were gonna say that.
But if you want a third favorite game, this is gonna be obscure. And it is a game that I used to play all the time when I was younger, and not realizing that it was actually not that great of a game. Is Jurassic Park Trespasser.
Is that like a 2D
No,
game?
it is a first-person shooter where you were on... It came out around the time of... No, what am I talking about? No, not Jurassic Park Trespasser. My second favorite game of all time. And I am replacing Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. On PS1, Jurassic... The Lost World Jurassic Park the game. The side-scrolling game where you played as the dinosaurs, I loved that game.
I think, because I think I somewhat know what you're on about.
Yeah, and it's like that game has so much nostalgia for me. I can remember the songs, I can remember the exact stages, like the first dinosaur you ever start out on is the compy, and you slowly get bigger and bigger, and then
I think I've seen Gaming Beaver play it.
That game, I still have the disc. It's not able to be. I can't play it anymore because it's scratched to Kingdom Come. But I still own it, And if there's a single game I wish would get a port onto PC or the Nintendo Switch or something, it's that game.
Yeah.
Because I grew literally that. I remember the day I got that. I was in a town a ways away, and we were in this town for a few weeks. And I remember my older brother went out to, I think he was actually going to GameStop to buy the PlayStation 2 because it had just come out. And I remember he coming in, and he had the PlayStation 2 and I think the Transformers game. And I'm sitting here, and my mom walks up to me and she says, "We found you something," and hands me the Lost World Jurassic Park. And I went, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool!" Went and played it and realized, "Oh my gosh, this game is really hard."
Oh yeah, I know it's a difficult game.
Oh yeah, it's like insanely difficult, but I loved it. I think my favorite part of the game, or the first favorite part, the part that I had the trouble with, was the part where you have to escape the Carnotaurus by going in between its legs and trying to like trip it up. That was difficult because I never understood. It was always random. You didn't know what move it was going to make, and it was really cool.
Okay, isn't there like a level where you play as a T-Rex and you gotta like avoid, like you're in a cave and like things are falling on you?
No, that level you play as a character known as the Hunter.
Oh, okay. And isn't it like the bit after that you play as a Rex or something?
You play as a Rex after you beat the 3 Velociraptor levels.
Okay.
You basically you play as a raptor, and the final level of the raptor, you're in a burning jungle, and you have to fight an Ankylosaurus. As soon as you kill it, you hear footsteps of a T-Rex, and as the T-Rex walks up behind the raptor and eats it, and then you start playing as a T-Rex.
I mean, that does sound cool. Yeah. Like, and yet again, going back to Lego games, Lego Harry Potter, like the first Lego Harry Potter game, that game,
dude,
mwah.
Love Lego Harry Potter games. Of course, we cannot forget about the most famous Lego Star Wars. So,
I remember playing. I played that on the DS.
Yeah.
Classic. DS is such like a underrated thing. Well, no, because it's all about Switch now, isn't it?
Well, the DS is outdated and kind of inferior. That's why, like, there are so many DS games I wish would get like remasters and re-releases on Nintendo Switch and stuff, because there are so many good ones. I can name a few, like the Transformers DS games. They were really good. One of my favorite DS game, Aliens Infestation, was really, really, really good. A few others. There were just so many good games on that system. And then of course there's the Game Boy, which had like Mario games. Mario Land. Contra.
Oh, Mario Kart, I guess you could say. Mario Kart.
Actually, I do not remember ever playing a Mario Kart game on the Game Boy. I never had one. I actually remember the Game Boy is where I played my first ever Sonic the Hedgehog game. It was...
Oh, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, that's...
Sonic the Hedgehog Adventure 2, I believe. It's kind of embarrassing because I knew what Sonic was and I knew what you were supposed to do, and yet I did not know how to play the game at all, and I never ended up learning until I played Sonic Mania, and I was like, oh, that's how Sonic works.
Yeah, you just roll around a little ball all day.
Yeah, I was never really good at Sonic games. But anything else you wish to mention, Headyband?
No, not really.
Well,
I think we've covered most things.
Yeah.
I guess we could say, what's the worst game you've ever played?
Easy peasy.
Don't say Fortnite.
No. That's. What's Fortnite? No, the worst game I ever played. The worst game I ever played I thought this was going to be an easy one, and I can't... Hang on, I'm trying to think.
I mean, you really think it would be easier, but...
Yeah, for some reason...
I mean, for me, it's definitely SCP: The Foundation.
Yeah, that game is really bad.
That game sucks.
Okay, so I think I know exactly what game I'm gonna say is the worst game I've ever played. It is a game that is called... Where is it? Okay. I actually cannot remember. I remember. Okay, actually I do. I know exactly which one. It's called... Just get ready for this. This game is called Revenge of the Rednecks. The Day of the Undead, I believe.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to Google that game.
I'm gonna show you a video about it once we end the podcast. It is the single worst game I've ever played in my life. I got it at a thrift store, and I was like, sitting here like, what? Basically, the entire story of the game is you play a guy named Eustace. You have a shotgun, an AK-47, and a truck. Your whole goal is to go throughout this zombie apocalypse to save your goat, who has been taken by a mad scientist trying to create a bacteria to control people's minds. It is the single most vile game I've... In terms of, like, vile, I mean it's so bad. There's nothing inappropriate other than some language and some blood. And it's... By the way, this game came out in, like, 2010. And the graphics are pre-PlayStation 1. They're so bad. I'm like, oh. And this game was like $1, so I mean, it didn't really waste a whole lot of money. And I was like, this is the worst game I've ever played.
Like, I mean, I like, unless we're ending the podcast, I guess we could also talk about the most rage-inducing.
Yeah, sure. So my most rage-inducing game is a game on PlayStation 2. It was... Which one was it? Was it... I'm trying to remember.
Wait, for me, it's Cuphead.
Yeah, well, Cuphead to me, I don't really get angry at games like that because I know they're meant to be hard.
Oh yeah.
But I did get like I did rage a few times, but like I've never really had a game that made me rage a whole lot, other than like maybe Dark Souls, because like when I died, I lost all my progress and I was on the final boss and I had to start from the beginning.
Yeah, any games that do that, just roar.
But I didn't like freak out. I just kind of like I screamed and then turned off my computer and like took a nap because I was like, I'm not gonna break my stuff because I've never done that. Or a game that will really, any game that'll make me super rage, like mega rage, is a game that is competitive that people are able to cheat at.
Okay, yeah.
Because I remember playing Mortal Kombat at a tournament, and this guy was using hacks, and he was basically invincible, and he beat me in a single hit, and I was like, what the freak is wrong with you? That's you're not allowed to do that. But yeah, that's really the only kind of rage moment I really had.
I mean, yeah. Also, I'm surprised that we haven't talked about Mario 64.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mario 64. I love GoldenEye, Ocarina of Time, stuff like that. Yeah.
Like
I
have
some good memories with Nintendo 64. Yeah. I still actually have my Nintendo 64. It's actually sitting right over there. What's up, dude?
It just speaks back.
It just starts talking back like, what's up? I'm like,
I have so much dust on me. You don't understand.
Actually, he's not all that dusty. I just played him not too long ago.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, anything else we need to talk about?
I don't think so.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for coming. Heady Man, thank you for joining me.
I just dabbed.
I hate you. I hate you.
Yep. You'll never be seeing me again, don't worry.
I'm coming to Britain right now to kill you. I'm joking.
Bugger.
Alright, well, thank you everybody for joining us. We shall see y'all later down the line with our next episode. And our next episode should be us talking about our worst fears. So.
Oh, that one's probably gonna be a good one.
Yeah. So we will see y'all next time. Have a nice day. Bye.